Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and in this video I want to talk a bit about the upcoming Brawler class in the Lord of the Rings Online. But before that, I do have some very exciting news, and in short, basically both the Brawler and LI Revamp are coming to beta later this week on the Brawler server for testing. But the actual announcement I have to make is that I have been given the great opportunity of getting a special early access preview to testing both of these out. A select few content creators and the such were invited to a limited early preview on Tuesday, September 7th. And then after that, we will have the open part of the beta, which is expected to begin sometime on Wednesday the 8th. And the good news for the early preview window is I will be able to stream that all and basically get a head start in making videos on both the new class and LI system. There is a little bit of bad news I do have with that though, and basically I expect to be at work a lot later than I usually am on Tuesday, and although my schedule is normally flexible, I basically have this thing kind of late in the afternoon, early in the evening. But I am definitely planning on starting the beta basically as soon as I get home and like eat dinner and all that. And hopefully that will be before 8 p.m. Central, just so y'all know, and I will of course schedule the stream on YouTube and do that here. And I am really looking forward to doing that preview and hope you all will join me here on YouTube for it. But what I am also looking forward to is the Brawler as a class. And just yesterday I did upload a video about the Beorning, and basically I was talking about some situations of the Beorning that make me concerned basically with how the Brawler may turn out. And even in other videos that I have covered the Brawler recently, I've kind of talked about it with the idea of concern and not really having, basically not having high expectations, not really expecting much out of the class. But what I haven't talked about is how I am excited for a new class coming to LOTRO. So that is what I want to talk about today and share why I am looking forward to the Brawler. And before that, I do want to do a really quick summary of what we know about the Brawler heading into beta. Currently, we do know it has one DPS spec and one tank spec, and the third spec has not been announced. Could be either of those two, could be support, anything different. And multiple sources at Standing Stone Games have said it has satisfying animations. I know that's a subjective thing of what satisfying means with animations, but that is like a thing people have talked about multiple times and multiple people. And it will also have unique systems and unique gameplay mechanics, perhaps some combo-based stuff there. And the weapon will be some type of knuckles, brass knuckles type thing, essentially a fist weapon. And that will be their weapon type, which is a new weapon type coming to the game. Alright, so moving on to the actual things I am looking forward to. And the first reason I am looking forward to the Brawler is simply that it is just a new class and will definitely have new gameplay, and I am just a big fan of variety and just something to vary up the gameplay, and that will be very nice to me. And I feel like this is a basic thing that I personally have just not really thought about when actually thinking about playing the class, which will be a reality soon, at least for the beta. And speaking of the gameplay, I actually do want to point out the background gameplay in the videos, of course not the Brawler since don't have that footage yet, but that will be my Warden, which isn't too relevant, but at least I think the Brawler might be combo-based class, so Warden has the Gambit system, but we'll see more on that soon. I just wanted to point that out, but either way, let's go ahead and move on. And next up, I think there are just exciting elements on just building the Brawler. The class will not only bring new gameplay, but it will also have new building options and will likely have some fun stuff to just simply test out, so I personally do look forward to that. But even thinking more broadly with building the Brawler, how the class will fit into LOTRO I think is quite interesting. While this is actually another area of concern with the Brawler, if it will be overpowered or underpowered, and which roles it will do and how viable it will be in each role, I still think the added class just mixing things up provides something fresh to group experiences, and I'm quite looking forward to that. And going back to a more individual level with the Brawler specifically, it is confirmed to have a DPS spec and tank spec as I mentioned, and based on the class fantasy it seems both will do so in unique ways. So I am really looking forward to seeing how the tanking works and how the DPS works. Plus, of course, I am interested in seeing what this unannounced third role is, and whether it is like a second tank line, another DPS line, a support line, or even maybe some like hybrid line, or just anything else. Interested to see what it is, all the building options and things you can do with that. And it's something for me to look forward to. And going back to group content on this note and how the Brawler fits in, I am of course excited to see how it might fit in more unique and interesting ways. And why this is exciting to me is, to give some context here, one thing with my group content experience in LOTRO is it is actually often with unoptimized groups and setups, which can alter the performance of some classes and maybe change how you would traditionally think of them, especially compared to just running like the meta all the time. So with that in mind, I am looking forward to maybe some more unusual or unique ways, kind of niche ways, that the Brawler class might fit into group content and the such. And just really for me, it's just exciting possibilities to think about there and potentially theory craft around. But by now, all the things I have talked about that I am looking forward to, I think are fairly general with like any new class. And these are the type of things that I just haven't really been thinking about with the Brawler, how things fit with just a general new class coming to the game. And I just thought it was important to cover that and share why I am indeed excited for the new class. But there are some notes on the Brawler specifically, and one thing I think that has helped keep me from getting excited is the class fantasy. I'm just not quite sure on that. I do have to admit, I don't think I'll find the whole punchy brawly style too appealing. I don't really find that in other games at least, but what I'm hoping is the class is fun enough that I can overcome that. And even then, I am still looking forward to seeing its animations, so-called satisfying animations especially, and especially if it involves like knocking back mobs, which, speaking of knocking back mobs, I'm not sure how well a mechanic like that would work in LOTRO. It's kind of oddly exciting, I think, for me to see how you could break things with something like that, basically. If that even is still a thing. I think it was mentioned by the executive producer at one point, the knocking back, but we'll see. And yeah, setting that aside, I think there's still some specifics of the class I'm looking forward to, even if I'm not typically into that fighter brawler type style of class fantasy. And I think the new mechanics and potential combo-based gameplay, they do sound intriguing to me, even if, again, I tend to stay away from actually combo-based stuff as well in other games, which may be ironic because I actually really like the Warden, but I also kind of consider the Gambit system to be a little bit different than typical like combo fighter style type classes. Anyway, the whole point here with all this is I'm just basically looking forward to seeing if this is going to be a fist-based fighter class that I am actually interested in playing in, given that it's like a style that I usually don't find appealing. But with that, I have covered pretty much everything that I'm looking forward to with the Brawler class. As usual, I am interested in your all's thoughts and basically what maybe you are looking forward to with the new class. And as a reminder, I will be testing the Brawler in beta tomorrow evening, and we'll be looking at the LI Revamp too, which is quite exciting to me as well, so lots of exciting stuff this week. And with this shorter video, that is where I will leave y'all, and I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something useful. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content, and thanks for watching, everyone.